Hi, this is Jackie Bryant. I'm your principal, and normally I give students on Fridays announcements through this kind of a video, but today you get a special video just about character conferences. So in my announcements, I normally show what's coming up in October. For example, Friday, club proposals are due, and there's a free dress for the grade level whose meal app is turned in the most. And at 3:10, we're having a full school game of tag. Once a month, we have a tag game instead of a virtue ceremony closing. But I'm here to talk today about the character conferences that are happening on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, October 16th, 15th, 16th, and 18th. There's also a dance on the 25th. The character conferences are really different from what you might have experienced in elementary school or at other schools. Character conferences are not for grade conversations or assignment conversations or even standard mastery. How is my child doing with the standards in this class? This feedback is available to parents, and it can come through a lot of the ways that we've listed there. Classroom interactions are the best. Illuminate really is the method of communication that teachers are giving to parents to let students know how they're doing on assignments. So check all of those, and when you come to conferences, hopefully this video will prepare you. October is our 6th grade conferences, January is our 7th, and later in the spring is our 8th grade conferences that are really about the transition to high school. So, character conferences are different. They are student empowering. They are available to each family per grade level. They are 20 minutes with only one of your child's current teachers. And they have another teacher in there that might not even have your student. We have 11 teachers at IVA, and so this is a community kind of a conversation. It's led by a protocol. There's 3 questions, and it's about us getting to be present with students and help them reflect. The conferences really help support the school values, especially the idea that students can come to know themselves, and through a conversation and community that has openness and respect and allows for the idea of growth. Really quickly, there's one quote that we talked about in our advisory training that I think is also really present in our character conferences, and this is a lot, but it says, "My inward and invisible sense of identity becomes known even to me as it manifests itself in encounters with external and visible otherness." That means, for me, that I can come to know myself and practice reflection, especially in the way that I interact with the teachers that I work with the students that I work with. I come to know myself through my interaction with others. And I think the conferences give us a really big chance for this. So there are 3 questions. It starts with the student first, then the parent, then the teacher. And I have 2 really special practice student and parent for this conference. This is Phineas Bryant. He is my son, and this is Ryan Bryant. So Phineas is going to act like the IVA student. Ryan's going to act like the IVA parent, and I will pretend like I'm an IVA teacher. I did work with Phineas ahead of this so that we could look at the list of intellectual virtues, and this is available on our website, and it might be helpful for parents or students for the very first time to think about this before you come into the conference, but it's not necessary. We can figure it out during our conference. So I'm going to ask you, Phineas, a question that I asked you before, but what intellectual virtue do you think that you practice the most, or you've seen yourself grow in the most recently?
Curiosity. I feel like curiosity because when I'm walking, I wonder what the answers are.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think that in class you practice a lot of curiosity. The other part of the question is like, how does that show up in your learning? So does that come through your just internal wondering, or is it like asking questions, or where do you see it the most? The questions. Okay. And then Ryan Bryant, the dad, what virtue do you feel like you see Phineas practice or have seen him grow the most in recently?
I would have to say it's the intellectual tenacity, because I see Phineas struggling to learn these new things, and he's curious about all these new things, but he pushes through and gets past just wondering what they are. He finds out what they are, and even though he has trouble finding out what they are, he'll come ask questions, and he'll get through it, and he can see that he keeps his eye on the prize, and he makes it happen.
Yeah, so tenacity is like a willingness to embrace challenge and struggle. And I think that your dad has told me that you have been practicing that a lot, especially with the way that you're trying to keep distraction at bay. So as a teacher, I'm not actually in the classroom with you, but if I was, I think I would tell you what you said earlier to me, Phineas, that you said that your teacher has you do some of the same activities and you get to see your errors, and that in that way you get to practice intellectual carefulness. Like you're learning from your mistakes, and to the point where you can try to avoid your mistakes. Yeah. Okay, so the next question would be, what virtue do you want to grow in? And this is one of the ones that is so nice to have this be an open reflection, that you can trust, Phineas, that your dad and that your teacher care enough about you to know where you want to grow. And we're not going to just lecture you and tell you how to grow, but we know that your mind is strong enough to know where to grow. And then we'll go around in a circle. We won't right now, but we'll go around in a circle where the student, the parent, the teacher responds. And then what concerns or appreciations do you have? This takes about 20 minutes, and it's a big reflection conference that will continue to be something that you think about. And when we talk about it in the 7th grade also, it will be different. And it's not a replacement for talking about your grades, but it is a focus on being able to know how you think and learn. So thank you for sitting in on this video with the Bryant family. Can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Have a great conference.